Hi, it's time for another creative writing meetup where we often write from prompts and we do some creative writing lessons. We call them writing lessons. So today's lesson is going to be on building character, but I want to tell you first about our group. We have a creative writing group. We meet in AltspaceVR in virtual reality. And we created a supportive and creative environment for writers there. And we have a great active Discord channel at discord.me, Writing VR. So come join us there and you can find more about our regular scheduled meetups that usually happen on Mondays. And we'd love to have you join them. They're free and open to the public. So come join us. In this writing lesson, our little writing workshop, we're going to talk about building character. And in these workshops, we just take a little tiny element of writing to teach you more about how to improve your own creative writing. Now, it's a basic practice in writing that you show and you don't tell. And in this exercise, we're going to use words to paint pictures that show the reader who your character is, how they think, what they feel, and who they are. We're going to build upon the use of language to capture that character that you so beautifully put into your writing. Now we have the phrase, he stood there. What do we know about the character from that phrase? Well, we know it's a he, so it's a male character. We don't know, could be human, could be not. Don't know anything, but we know he. We know that they stood. In other words, they had the ability to stand. So they clearly had some form of legs. Now they're there. We don't know where there is, but we know it's a place, okay? And he was standing there. So that place is very important to the story. We need more information to fill that in, but look at just what we've learned from just these three words. Male, standing, an ability to stand, and standing in a place of importance. He stood there, eyes twinkling, cheeks red, grinning from ear to ear. Now these words have stereotypical thought, behaviors and emotions that are attached to them. Eyes twinkling. What does that mean? Is it twinkling with laughter? Twinkling with curiosity? Maybe it's twinkling with anger. We don't know. Maybe it's just there's headlights pointing at their eyes. We don't know. But we can guess, combined with the rest of the information, cheeks red. Maybe this person is happy. We think of like Santa, red cheeks, happiness, or has a rosacea or a drinking problem. Maybe embarrassed. Again, more information. We can fill in gaps of what message do we want to send to our readers by the words that we choose. And grinning from ear to ear then completes the picture. It's most likely that grinning from ear to ear with twinkling eyes and cheeks red that there's laughter and mirth involved. Maybe. But we've painted a picture so we know the person is doing more than just standing there. Eyes are twinkling, cheeks are red, grinning from ear to ear, likely, stereotypically, laughing. Now let's change this up. He stood there, eyes twinkling, cheeks red, fingernails cutting into the palms of his hands. Now, most of that sentence is exactly the same, but now there's a mood shift on the last part. Fingernails cutting into the palms of hands denotes anger, frustration, fury. I mean, really, more than anger. Nervousness, anxiety. Then we look at he's standing, he's not running. Eyes twinkling. Is it with anger, curiosity, frustration? Don't know. Cheeks red. That could be fury and anger. Think about each of these words and the picture they paint as you are starting to see that character. These words matter and they play important roles in helping our reader understand who our character is. And your choice of these words makes huge differences, don't they? Just think about that. Now, in another example, we have this person who's described in the situation they are by the suit they're wearing. The suit was stifling in the August heat, sweat sliding down his body, each step accompanied by a sloshing sound from the swimming pool in his shoes. Ooh, that's some serious sweating. So what do we know? We know that this is a male. He's wearing a very heavy suit that's probably inappropriate for the weather. What does that tell you about his character? Maybe not making good fashion choices? Don't know. We know time of year. And we probably know he's in the northern hemisphere, not the southern hemisphere, but in August it could go either direction. We know it's really hot, likely humid. We can make assumptions that he'd be wearing a suit in a city, but we really don't know. We don't know where he is. We just know that with every step he takes, the sweat is just sliding down his body and pooling in his shoes. Now, what do we know about his body? When we did this in class, we found that many people thought this person was thin, was quite skinny, beanpole skinny. Because if they had any kind of body weight, the sweat wouldn't have landed in the shoes. They would have stuck to shirt. They would have pooled in different places. So that could be a conclusion that maybe this description is denoting somebody who's just stick thin, really thin, so that all that perspiration just goes right down and pools in the shoes. But you have a sound, of sloshing sound. You maybe have a scent. We're tapping into the senses as we start to paint the picture of what our character's doing. Now, the next one was an exercise, a chance for you to paint your own suit. Doesn't have to be sweating, doesn't have to be August, didn't have to be any of those things. So I want you can hit pause, and I want you to complete that sentence and paint your own picture of how a character, describe us a character by the suit they're wearing. So the suit was too thin for the cold weather. It was too heavy for the hot weather. It was immaculate and clean. I don't know. What can a person's clothing tell us about who that character is and what they're doing and what they're thinking and how they're functioning in the story? So hit pause if you want. We'll move on to the next one. In the next exercise, I wanted to have you experiment with movement. Paint us a picture of how a character moves. We're not talking about the suit. We're not talking about the smiling, twinkling. New one. Anything you want. Hit pause and write down, he moved, and fill in that blank. Now, as we build on these exercises, I want you to really think about the words you choose to fill in these blanks. She looked out the window. Describe that. Determined not to give in. What could you write that would describe this female character that made us know that the end of the sentence would be determined not to give in? How could you paint what she looked like, her body position, her body language, how she was sitting, with the clothes she was wearing? Maybe she's not sitting, maybe she's standing. I don't know. How are you going to paint that to help us understand that this character was thinking, I'm not going to give in? You can hit pause and work on it. So you just had a really brief example of all of the many ways with just a few words, from 3 words building up upon, we can paint a picture with words that show us who the character is, how they're thinking, what they're feeling, who they are. Look for those opportunities to show us the character. Don't tell us what a character is feeling. Paint a picture so that when we look at it, we know what the character is thinking and feeling and what their character is as a character in your story. We have plenty of these things on our discord.me/writingvr. And also you can find tips and information at Writers in the Grove and at our, on our Discord, and we have this YouTube channel. So check out more of these, and I'll have more coming up soon. Thanks. See you in Altspace.